Well, we'll get to the shits now, and we'll start with United, man.
Absolutely bopped.
The United reps have run away.
Jake, let me start with you, my guy. Obviously, Manchester derby, you'd think, they'll be up for it. Only 2-0 though, but like the Liverpool game, United look miles and miles of it. Obviously, I prepared this whole segment for them, man, but they didn't come on. But them, man, said in the summer that the gap with Liverpool has at least been closed. Obviously, hindsight is a fantastic thing because Liverpool lost today, but whatever. That's what they said. That the gap with Liverpool has been closed, and that they will be able to mount a title challenge, or at least be thereabouts come May. Jake, do you still believe that what's gone wrong? Because you co-signed it as well. I remember looking at the convert. I saw your name. I was like, I'm not gonna at you too tough. You get me? You're just outside.
I'll admit it. I fell for it. I'm gonna hold my hands up there. I was blinded by the lights. I can only apologize. It was wrong of me. No, I mean, United were horrible. Like, there's just two stats that just prove how shit they were yesterday. They had more shots on target on their own goal than they did City's. Like, that's appalling, first of all.
Ferdinand tweeted that as well.
Yeah. And then 4 touches in the City box.
Wow. I didn't know that one.
It was pathetic watching them. Like, Liverpool were just ruthless, and it was disgusting what they did to them. But with City, like, Liverpool didn't get out of second gear, right? I don't think City got out first. Like, they were just able to cruise along. And this is the problem I really have with United, because when they first got twatted by Liverpool, I was sat there going, hire Conte. And you're hearing doubts like, oh, we don't want him. It's like, why? Your coach is obviously not good enough. Like, you need to take these steps. Like, their 5 at the back was the most pitiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Jake, sorry.
No, go for it, man. Like,
I agree with you in terms of obviously Ole's in terms of Ole's experience and whatnot. But this is ultimately the players, man. Like, if you watch that goal for Luke Shaw, like, what is he doing? He's not even watching, or sometimes if you don't know what's behind you, you just get rid of the ball. Luke Shaw is casual about it. Yeah. What can Ole do about that? Like an incident like that?
Do you know what I like? Do you know why I'll rebuttal that? I watched the Roy Keane versus Micah, and I completely got Micah because at fullback I played that, like, that's my position, right? Wan-Bissaka was in between of pressing Cancelo or drop him, because there was no fullback on Cancelo, if that makes sense, and there was kind of space behind him. So in reality, Wan-Bissaka couldn't go and press Cancelo. So that made it tough. And that's on Ole for me, of where, yes, you play 5 at the back, whatever 5-3-2 he played, but then you sacrifice giving Cancelo and Walker the ownership of Old Trafford. And Cancelo right now is
rectifying the second half.
But it was too late. It was too late. But Cancelo is probably arguably now the top 3 best player in the league, and you're giving him the freedom of Old Trafford. So on that side, it has to be on the manager, man. It has to be.
It's the worst fact that, like, obviously coming from a Chelsea fan, I know a thing or two about changing your manager, but you can't change your squad as easily as you can change your manager. And the bump you can get from getting a top level manager with this, because this squad has obviously got talent. Let's be completely fair. Like, Luke Shaw last year had a great year. Harry Maguire is not worth 80 million, but he is a very good centre-back when he's actually playing well. At the minute, he is completely awful. Like, there was so much talent in this squad, and right now they're just playing so beneath themselves. Like, I hate McTominay right now. I think he is such a scared player. Like,
he's always been, man. Trust me. He's always been like this.
I get annoyed at ranting about United at the minute, because it's just pathetic watching them.
I mean, on paper, obviously, like, squad-wise, they have, like, probably the 3rd or 2nd best squad in the league. Fair enough. But, like, even that, like, that's all on paper, innit? But, like, in terms of application, I would even put them in the top 5 squads in the league.
But you know what's funny? I compared the stats of, like, this season when they played, like yesterday when they played City versus last season when they played them. They beat City and they drew them. And there were similar stats in most categories between the win and the draw. But this season, like, they couldn't get the ball into the final third, of where last season I think they played Rashford and James out wide of where they had outlets and they had players to pin in their fullbacks. And this season, that 5-3-2, to me, it's a cop-out the way Ole plays the 5-3-2. It's a, because I don't trust my defenders, let me chuck in another centre-back to protect them. But this other extra centre-back they brought in, he's basically not contributing, which means you've lost an attacker to press them. Yeah, no, they've lost an attacker to have an outlet, but they've also lost an attacker to stop their defenders playing. So it's a halfway house, which you're doing nothing. Like the 5-3-2 adds nothing, in my opinion. So I don't know how they go forward. I have no idea.
I said this, I think a few weeks back, I can't remember when, but I personally think the problem is they do not have like a strong CDM, right? And with that being said,
all United fans will agree. I think all United fans will agree.
But then the other options is either Pogba or Van der Beek, and they still cannot do that job defensively. So always now, they would rather, put 5 at the back and then have Bruno, Ronaldo, and whoever up top, or Cavani, whoever it may be, just covering that and have those two playing in McSauce and what's his name? And Fred. Rather than sorry, go on.
Tubbs, I'll put this question to you and to the pod as well. Do you reckon, or do you, in your opinions, do you guys feel that United has gone through like the growing pain stage? Because I don't. I feel what they did is they thought, screw this pain, let's just buy our way to the top. Because I feel, in my opinion, I felt like this has always been my issue with the whole Ronaldo situation. Yes, great signing, great player. I feel like you were trying to get your way to trophies by doing that. You should have taken a step back and figured out, okay, what's the plan? We're buying Sancho. He's gonna be our more or less the star boy, the franchise. We have other franchise. What can we do around this? Build systematically. I felt, and if they did that, I feel United would be in a better place right now than where they are. They're, like Kenna has said, they're in a halfway house. They don't know what they want to do. And I felt
this is what I said 3 weeks ago. And remember, I was told I'm a bike. This was the point I was just making about Manchester United. But people didn't understand what I was saying, that in the long run, that move is going to ruin it for the current players. And everyone's like, no, it's good for competition. It's good for this. It's good for that. Now, look, we're talking about Sancho being dropped for England. He's not playing for the club. What is going to happen in a year's time? No, everyone's going to look at him and say, oh, this guy's crap. Period.
Let's talk about the manager real quick. Because obviously, last week, in the game against Spurs, he somewhat resurrected his career. Not resurrected, but I mean, like, he saved his job on that day and night.
He bought another week.
He bought another week. Done a masterclass, which meant Nuno was sacked. Conte was appointed by Spurs, so that means he gets a couple more weeks. Yeah. But what manager out there realistically available could bring this United back, if anyone?
That's the thing now. That obviously the one that they thought they could have got was Conte, right? And I don't know, man. I mean, I was speaking to other United fans and I said Zidane, and they all laughed him off. They laughed him off. Yeah, they laughed him off.
I do not get that. Like, they've got two choices. If they want to succeed this season, get Zidane. Because Zidane will manage those egos and he'll get something for them. And
plus it's Zidane in it, so they'll play for him.
But is Zidane the only one available, by the way? Like, if you got names.
If you're United, anyone, well, not anyone, but a lot of managers, you can make them available. Like, you can throw a packet at anyone. So it's just a case of how
I even
would they even consider Moisey?
Oh, imagine.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
I seen an article today saying they're in talks with Rodgers. So I don't know how legit that is, but
that's the thing.
I think they need a coach. I think they need a coach, proper coach.
That knows ball, man.
A strategist.
I think they need more in the background, because you've got a director of football who's doing that job for the first time. You've got a technical director who's doing that for the first time. You've got Ole who's managing his first big club. It's just the blind leading the blind at the minute. And you've got a lot of people, I bet, just umming and ahhing and not. It's like, Shalom, I completely agree with your point where, like, let's consider the transfer window. Sancho, Varane and Ronaldo, all in their own right, are good signings. Together, though, there's no cohesion.
I think it's still fine.
It's still fine, though. The thing is, it could work.
It's fine with a good manager. That's a good window.
It could work, man. and that's the thing, Jake. You all thought it would have worked, right?
Yeah.
Because exactly. So hindsight is funny right now because you're saying that individually is good, but in the summer, everyone was saying, yeah, there's a great. They're
True.
gonna be top of the league. They're gonna do this.
United
True.
thought they were an ultimate team, boy.
But you have
That's
to
what they-
remember. You have to
The
remember.
problem is-
You have to remember the manager is at the helm, bro. And you have to
No, no,
remember.
no.
Go on.
I was gonna say, I feel like one of the reasons they felt like it, yeah, was mainly because of Varane, right? Varane coming in, they thought, oh, that gap that is gonna be.
No,
like,
man.
That was
They
their-
felt.
no, no,
They
no.
felt.
that
They
one.
felt.
It
Like,
wasn't that
they
one.
felt
It
like. They
wasn't that
felt.
one.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you why they felt like that. They felt like that because of last season with what they had, and they finished. They were basically the best of the rest on paper,
Yeah.
and now they've added 3 world-class players. Obviously, sky was the limit. They were on
Drew,
peak mountains, bro.
Drew, do you
Of
remember
course, they're
when
gonna
they
feel
signed-
like that.
Remember when they signed Ronaldo? And I think one of the first questions I asked is, how is the cohesion going to work? How are they going to press? And that certain bandit said, lol, the guy's talking about cohesion when you signed the GOAT. Fair dues. He's
But
got,
this
what
is
is
the
it?
point
He's
I'm
at
making.
9 goals in 12 games. Fair dues. That's like individually, that's fantastic. But as a team, United look worse than last season. As a team, look worse.
Let me pose this question for you, Kenna, because obviously, in the Champions League versus Atlanta, he came up good again. Bailed them out, saved their skin, much needed points, which obviously means that round of 16 qualification is in their hands. Much like Charles' comments about Thiago last season when he said that the way Thiago plays impacts Liverpool negatively on the pitch, and he makes us look worse. This was based on last season, of course. Although Ronaldo comes up good, against various teams this season for United, can the same be said?
So to me, 100%, because if you look at it, the last, 10 games of the season when we went on a run and won, 8 out of 10 games to qualify for the Champions League, Thiago started all of them. He was excellent in basically all of them. And then I was told that it didn't matter because it was against smaller sides and sides who weren't playing for anything. That's what I got told. And this season, United have played teams beneath them or level with their level. That's when Ronaldo scored. Liverpool, blank. City, blank. Let's see their next big ones, man. But to me, as a team, they look worse.
Ronaldo credit, in both those games, he was the
He's been
only
anonymous
one
and scored. No, but he's been anonymous.
I don't think he's been I don't think he's been anonymous.
He scored in moments.
But he's
Ronaldo.
But he's also been the only one that's looked like trying kind of thing with a bit of quality.
No.
He's had the most quality. I
nothing.
agree. Okay, quality. No. Quality, I agree. But in the same breath, it's in moments of where he's taken them. But he was also part of the issue of not playing well, if that makes sense. He fixes it. So as part of a whole group, their level as a team is worse. However, when push comes to shove, he's the one who's going to put his hand up and try and fix it.
So how would you rate Ronaldo's season so far?
As an individual, he's been their best player. He's been their best player, 110%.
Like a strong
as
8.
a team, 7.58. Yeah, he's been their best player, hands down. But as a
I've
team,
always said
United have
this.
regressed. United have regressed as a team. They're worse off. So when United finish, let's say 4th or 5th, what are we gonna say? They like you said, they signed 3 world-class players in their own right, and then finish 4th.
Let's see, man. May is way off, but let's see.